Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Ayoba Bakari. I create content for international students who want to become students in the US, who want to study um, in the US for their bachelor's degree, basically. So now this video is a part two of the first video. So the first video was steps to becoming an international student before admission. Now this video is steps to becoming an international student after admission. That means you have been accepted into your dream school. You have been accepted into the school that you want, right? Now, step one is to prove, confirm the financial aid that you have received in each school. So for some of you, you would have multiple acceptances. Glory be to God. Hallelujah. We are not going to be, you know, making decisions without being informed, which is the purpose of this video. So, for example, you get accepted into one school, you have $20,000 in scholarship. You get accepted into another school, you have $30,000. The more scholarships you have, the lesser you have to contribute towards your education, obviously. And then by the time you go back to your plan, which is what I was talking about, by the time you go back to your plan and you're like, okay, this is what my plan is, my family can put this towards my education. So, which of these schools actually is really close to what my family can afford, or is exactly what my family can afford. Ideally, that should be the school you should go to. Don't go to a school, or you can't even, you know, make all of these things. You can't go to a school without showing that you can afford the school. So now check your plan, decide your school of choice, submit your enrollment deposit. Not every school is going to have an enrollment deposit, but if a school has an enrollment deposit, it should be between $50 to $1,000 or even $2,000. Now you have to pay this to be able to get to step two. You don't pay don't pay a enrollment deposit to all the schools you have gotten accepted to. Only to the school you want to go to. Think of it as an acceptance fee that you pay in Nigeria. You only pay an acceptance fee to the school that has accepted you and that you want to go to. Okay. Now, step two is to collect all documents for visa application. Before this, your school would have given you your I-20 after you have shown them all the documents that they're asking you for. So that's where you would show them things like bank statement to show that they can actually afford the remaining amount that is left after your scholarships. You would submit your scholarship letter to the International Student Office. So that's a separate department dealing with you. So if you have funding from like 4 different departments in a school, so for some people you have scholarships from computer science department, merit scholarship, you have scholarship for being black, you have scholarship for being from Africa, you have scholarship from being from Asia, whatever country is, you need to submit all of those letters like this to the International State Office so that they would know that, okay, this person has 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, like that. This is the total scholarship they have. Then you now submit a bank statement also to say, okay, after $26,000, my total cost of attendance is $50,000. My family is going to be supporting me with the remaining $24,000. Then the school should be able to give you your I-20. You need to go to the embassy with your I-20. So now that I-20, once you have it, you'll be able to pay your service fee because your service number will be up there on the I-20. Then you need to pay, please pay this at least 3 days. In fact, that's what the embassy says. But I would say at least 3 weeks before your embassy interview date. Ideally, I would even say pay your service fee even before booking your interview date. Mhm. Because you can't pay directly in Nigeria. Obviously, there are agents that do that. I don't do that. Don't ask me, please. Okay. There are agents that do that in Nigeria. They would pay it for you, and you also pay them their charges. But if you have family in Canada or in the US, I think in the UK also, they should be able to assist you with Western Union or with money order, whatever it is. You can't do that in Nigeria. I don't know about other African countries, but you can't pay your service fee in Nigeria directly, like using your card. You can't. And they need to think and help us in this country. Do you know how many students are coming from Nigeria? Hmm? So that's that. That's about the service fee. It is $350 for every single student. You only pay it once. Um, Peradventure you have no issues as per well, not the kind of issues that you guys are thinking about, but you only pay it once. Let's just put it like that. Then you begin to prep and practice for your visa interview. As at this step two, now the school would have given you access to your housing portal. You would have known your academic advisor. If your academic advisor is going to meet with you virtually or during orientation on school grounds, you'll be notified. If they're meeting with you virtually, then you're most likely going to have your timetable before you travel. Um, because you and your advisor will talk. So this is the point where when you're talking with your advisor, let them know all of your interests. I want to do masters. I have interest in music, but I'm studying mathematics. They would be able to recommend classes that you can take that would still, align with what you're studying, help you graduate on time. Not even graduate on time, graduate on track. But if you're like, oh, I want to graduate in 3 years, you need to let them know all of these things at the beginning. So it's either they tell you that, oh, okay, remind me later, or you can only do this once you're at sophomore level, which is 200 level, or when you're a junior, which is 300 level. You just need to let them know all of these things. But if it's something that they need to work into your plan right from freshman year, they are going to do that. Obviously, some of these things will come with extra cost, but that's by the way. The housing deposit, some schools now would include that in your enrollment deposit. While some schools have the enrollment deposit, they also have the housing deposit. Without the housing deposit, you cannot pick the rooms that you want. Make sure that when you're picking the rooms that you want, look for something that is open during the breaks if you don't have family in the US. I'm telling you. Even if you have family in the US and they're not even close to school, just look for something that's open during the breaks so that you can actually even work during summer and still be in your hostel. So because some of them will say, oh, we have housing for summer and you have to pay for it. No. If your school has that option, that might be the only thing. That might also be something that would help you determine that I actually want to go to the school. Okay. And for a lot of schools, I know some of you are banking on, living with family members. For a lot of schools, if you're below the age of 21 as at your freshman year, you are mandated to live on campus. So that's for your first year. Obviously, by your second year, you can do whatever it is that you like. So keep that in mind when you're making plans and choosing the schools you want to choose. Okay. Step 3 now is the packing checklist that I mentioned in the video before, previously. I'll put the link for you to be able to purchase it down below. Now, this packing list has every single thing from the documents you need to pack, the steps you need to take, and even the actual packing list itself. The only thing you will not see on that packing list is anything regarding food, because I didn't carry food to anywhere. I didn't take curry, I didn't take anything. You can get all of those things in the US, right? So, plus for me, most of the things that I packed was clothes. So I didn't buy any clothes at all when I was in school. Okay, and shoes. Well, I just took like 3 sneakers and my Birkenstocks. So you don't like those are things that you need to consider. If you want to pack food, please obviously follow the rules and regulations of your airline and the country that you're going to. USA. Now, every school is going to tell you to contribute the arrival information, your travel itinerary, share your ticket with them. Why? Because they have shuttles that can come and pick you from the airport. And also, for example, if you're resuming earlier than the resumption date, they have rooms that they can put you in either for a fee or free of charge. You need to communicate all of these things with them. Even if your flight has been delayed and you're not going to show up at the time that you're supposed to show up, please let them know. So for example, I know that certain schools have the shuttles there from like 9 to 5 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. Most of the time resumption is a full week. So you have everybody coming in from everywhere. They will tell you the airport to land in. It's always on the school's website, but they'll send it to you by email. So that is where we're at. Now, step 4. Step 4 is positioning. You need to review the financial aid terms and conditions. Some of the financial aid terms and conditions are renewable. So you get a $20,000 scholarship. They tell you it's renewable for your 4 years, provided you maintain a certain GPA. So that means you don't have to apply again. So far you maintain that GPA. While some will tell you that you have to apply every single year. So if that's something you're not interested in doing, that could also be a reason why you don't choose the school. Okay. Now get involved in different things to increase financial aid. That is now when you're on campus. Some schools have a separate database for students that have enrolled, a database of scholarships. Obviously, it might not be a lot, but it's still something. 5,000 out of 20,000 is still something. 2,000 out of 20,000 is still something. So that are things to keep in mind. Certain organizations that you join, certain jobs that you do would actually reduce the money that you have to pay, which is also reducing the burden and stress on your family members. Okay, so once you get into school, all those organizations that they ask you are coming up, those things are real. For certain organizations, you get certain benefits and things like that that would obviously help your financial aid situation. Also asking them, can this be decreased? This is that even if you perform, so let's say they tell you to maintain a 3.0 GPA and you come and you are on a 4.0. So the US maintains 4.0 out of 4.0, and that is what you are at or where you're at. You can actually ask them to review your financial aid and see if it can be increased. So that is that. That brings me to the end of this video. I hope this video was very helpful. Link to part 1 of this video is going to be in the description box. The link to order the packing checklist is going to be also in the description box. Then the wait list to join the ECG Zoom School is also going to be in the description box. If you don't know what the ECG Zoom School is about, I'm going to link it up here for you. I'm also going to put the video in the description box. Yeah, just check the description box. If you want to contact me, email, everything, description box, just go there. You see everything. Okay, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.